Cool. So I'll dive right
Yeah.
in and we'll get started.
Yep.
Beautiful. Where is my screen is the first question. No, that's not it. Hang on 1 second. Stop share. Stop share. Here we are. It is here. It's just hiding from me. Sorry, guys. I'm on with tech issues today. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. So obviously, welcome back to our final session. It's been lovely to meet you guys and work with you through questions, queries, concerns, all things social media. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things we can do, but just jumping in. So let me tap through. Obviously, session 1, we discussed a pretty broad overview of creating content, how to use social media, different platforms, how they might work for your individual libraries. Session 2, we discussed a lot more around the ad side of things. And I know budget is a bit of an issue for you guys, like in some of the libraries, is that you may not have a lot of ad budget, but it is useful to know that information should you ever be able to pitch to your overall marketing team to have a campaign. Hopefully give you some skills to actually be able to run those campaigns effectively and kind of have a bit more whiz about yourselves than is expected from certain departments. So kind of put a bit more of an even playing field, which is super exciting. And then this session is obviously, sorry, go ahead, Ash.
I've been talking with a couple of them and we've all been saying how we've got very pitiful to no budget at the moment. So we're really hoping.
Yeah, trust me, that is seemingly across industries. So your pain. And then this session as well is obviously chatting with you guys about what current campaigns you've got running, but also just wanting to dive quickly into reporting, basically how to find your reports, if like your stats and what stats to look for. And I do have a sample report as well that we would run for our team for one of our clients, for example, just so you can sort of see what kind of insights we're looking for when we are doing organic reporting specifically. So jumping
awesome.
through, this one here is Instagram. We've all seen Instagram before. Basically, I'm just quick insight in case no one's jumped into the insights of Instagram before. This little hamburger button at the top here, it's grayed out because I've got it open. That's what we select and jump straight into this insights button. It should open up something that looks like this, which will show you the overview for the last 30 days. You can change this to be a specific period. It can be 90 days. It can be however long you need it. It shows you your accounts reach, accounts engaged, total followers. Obviously, these stats change frequently. So for example, this client's accounts reach went down for the month. That's due to a campaign that had been switched off. So typically speaking, this will be impacted by spend as well. So we were running a paid campaign the month prior. And so we turned that off. Our accounts engaged did go up and so did our followers. We hosted a big event for these guys last month. So that is to be expected from an ads reporting point of view, if that makes sense. And so I guess one of the big things that is highlighted here is your offline activities do definitely impact your online activities. So that's a big thing to keep in mind as well, is just because there may not be any budget from a digital marketing point of view, it doesn't mean you can't incorporate social media into your day-to-day, I guess, promotions and how you do things. So if you've got an in-person event, maybe having a QR code available for people to scan to follow. You could be doing potentially like some quizzes or competitions and things like that don't cost much money, and drawing those people that are coming into the library for an event or for, just typical purchasing. You could do a monthly giveaway that you get an extra week of having a book. I have no idea if you're allowed to do that, but but you could do those sorts of things that don't necessarily impact budget, which then obviously impact the online ability to reach new audiences as well. So there's definitely ways around that. Jumping to the next page, and please let me know if you want me to slow down, if you have any questions. Ash, I'm going to keep you in charge of the chat box today.
Can do, definitely.
So this one here is just having a quick look at the accounts reached. So it shows us who our audience are that we reach. So we've tapped on this button, we've landed in here, and we can see our age ranges of the audiences that follow us. We can see that have engaged with us for the month. We can see the genders. There's also another screen on here that shows the location as well when you scroll further down. I haven't included it here, but this is just a bit of an example of the types of insights you can pull from this page, from the insights page. So you can sort of see the profile visits, the external link taps, etc., from the type of marketing you're doing. Continuing through, you can also look at what sort of content people engaged with or what got the most reach. So coming down, you can go back from that previous screen, there's a little back arrow. You can hit see all here, and you should start to see like what is engaging. And this is what this can do is inform you of what's actually working on the account as well. So it's one thing for us to say, well, this is the best piece of content, this type of content, this kind of type of content always performs well. It's an educated guess, I'm going to say, because realistically, your audience is going to engage with you in the way that they like to. So having a look and having a data-driven insight is super important when you're actually producing content. Is taking a look back and seeing what did work well and what could have performed better. So this one here is reach, and we can see these little gray dots at the bottom here of what was reach and what wasn't. The little squiggly line on these ones, the little arrow, shows the ones that were boosted, and these ones were obviously organic. So it gives you a bit more of a truthful insight into actually what performed and what didn't from both a paid and organic perspective. And you can also come down to this little, sorry, you can press this little toggle here, the one with the sort of 2 dots and 2 lines, and you can switch between different types of metrics. So maybe this one's showing us the reach. You can also look at engagement or shares if that's the metric you're looking to report on. Jumping across, and I am running really quickly through this because I know there's a few questions as well. This one's super blurry. I'm really, really sorry. Here we go. I'm jumping across to Facebook. So if you are looking to do reporting in Facebook, head to business.facebook.com. This extra bit will fill itself in automatically, and select insights down here. So it'll take you straight through to this next page, which will just show you a quick overview of the 28 days, the previous 28 days. As you can see for this client, we ran more Instagram campaigns because that's our target at the moment than Facebook, which is why our reach on Facebook gone down. That's just simply due to where we're spending our money. And then you get a little bit of an insight down here too. Scrolling, once you're on that page, you can also come down here. So that was in the overview section. You can come down and have a look at the content, and this will show you what's performed best. So you can use these little tools along the side here. So you've got reach, likes and reactions, sticker taps, and you can also toggle up here between the different types. So whether it was an ad, a published post, whatever it was. And this one here, we're just filtering by engagements. So we can see what was engaged the most, who reached the most, etc., over the last campaign period of the days that we selected for that one as well. Here, coming back up, so this is in that same little toggle on the left-hand side, our audience, and we can see, you know, the type of followers we have, the age, the gender, the top cities, and on Instagram, the same thing. Now, obviously, the reason why this is important to us is that there's no point in us reaching someone that can't buy our product, for example. So I think I mentioned this earlier, a lot of the people we work with aren't necessarily in the e-com space where they can obviously reach broad audiences across the world. We're really looking at localized content and localized engagement. So for us, making sure that these top cities are really where our audience are is really important, and keeping an eye on these percentages too. We'll obviously get followers from externally in other places, or people move that have already followed you. That's okay. But obviously just keeping an idea of what's working. So any questions at this stage? I know that was really fast. Thankfully, this is recorded and you'll get a copy so you can go back through it.
Yeah.
Nope.
No one got any questions? You can unmute and ask your questions, or you can type them in meeting chat. We're reporting on both.
So I just have a question. Hi, it's Christine.
Yeah.
How you going?
Good.
Basically, my question is just around, for all of your insights and all of your stats and information, is that only on paid ads? Can you get information
all
on?
All of this stuff is organic.
Okay, cool. So because we have no budget at all at the moment, which is fine. Probably in the future, I might pray to comms to see if they'll give us some budget. But currently, I need to do everything free. So I still do need to report on how our any of our campaigns or ads or just general promos are going. So I can access that in Facebook in the Meta Business Suite.
Yeah. So this one's directly in the Instagram page itself. These stats, and this you can get these stats again through Meta Business Suite. The reason why, as a team, we prefer to report directly from Instagram is we do find that it gives us firstly, it gives us a bit more of a clear, user-friendly version of finding the stats we need. But also it does give us a bit more of a clear indication of what was boosted, what wasn't. I do find sometimes in Meta and quite frequently in the back end of the business manager of Facebook, it adjusts things and it moves things around to help everyone really frequently. Yeah. You can't find what you're looking for. So all of this stuff is equally as valuable when it's just unpaid or paid, so that all the stats will still be there. They obviously just will show you ranges. Excellent. And jumping onto, which is really good lead into my next statement anyway, because we actually do report on exactly that. So this is one of our I guess, sample reports. It is basically when we do our reporting, we try to do things as simple as possible. I mean, we're in a commercial space, so our clients are very time poor. They don't want to read much, and that's fair enough. And so we just do a quick little insight, and this is, I guess, more in our branding. So it's always very colorful and fun. It doesn't have to look like this, just the way we kind of operate. But what we typically report on is sort of organic engagement and paid engagement, and we keep them separate when we are reporting, so our clients can see what worked with the paid side of things and what worked in a non-paid side of things, if that makes sense. So just a quick example sake, what we typically report on is our followers, so the number of followers we have on Instagram and what the growth was from the previous month. This statement you can either grab from that original screen, or for us, what we will also do is we use percentagecalculator.com or .net or something, and just chuck our percentages in that way and do our own reporting as well. Accounts reach, same sort of thing. This one, again, this was a paid reach compared to an organic, but you will still see there's potential growth there if a post goes viral or if you're getting more engagement, for example. Accounts engaged, same sort of thing. And then we also will report, and these ones here are total likes, and this is total likes for the whole month, our total comments for the whole month, and our total saves. And so those are obviously organic metrics, and total shares too. So when we are looking at those metrics, one thing we do know is the algorithm really favors shares and saves over likes and comments. Obviously, they're things that we can't really influence as much unless we're saying share this to your story for a chance to win. Typically in a competition we can, but day to day we can't. So that these, while they will typically be lower, they are stats we keep an eye on, because that helps the algorithm understand that that post or that piece of content is useful and important, and it'll start showing up in, the explore feed, in suggested posts and suggested content for other accounts too. So organically speaking, that helps you get a bit more reach. So, if that's, for example, saving, let's say you've got 5 tips on how to, if you like an author, how to find another author that you like, here are our top 5 tips. That might be something that is either share worthy or save worthy, because it's actually something useful for someone to come back to, which will then, in theory, start giving you more opportunity to reach more people as well.
Right. One question we've got is how to find insights or some of these metrics in Twitter.
In Twitter? So in Twitter, it's a very similar process, except I don't actually have it on my screen.
It's okay.
But what I can do is I can actually attach an extra slide at the end of this and show you guys that. So
that would be fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about that, because it's trying to explain it without showing you is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
So what I can do is I can add an extra slide to the end of this presentation and send it through to you when it comes through as a PDF, so you can actually go through that process as well.
That sounds fantastic. Thanks so much.
No, that's okay. Top engaged Instagram posts. This is something, again, we will always report on, is our 3 top engaged, so we can start to get an insight, and we've added an insight, this month people liked BTS content, for example. Is self-explanatory. We report on our reach and our engagement for those. And then moving forward, we look at stories as well, because they work off a different algorithm to the rest of the feed. So it is important that we keep an eye on that content too, because what's working in the feed may not be translating to what's working in the stories. Moving forward, Facebook summary, same sort of reporting. So we look at page followers, we look at reach, and we look at visits, because page reach and page visits are 2 very different things. And visits don't necessarily always translate to followers. So it is something that we keep an eye on too. LinkedIn, same sort of concept.
Yeah.
With our followers, we would typically report on if there's a growth, we'll add that in there as well, so a percentage. page engagement, views, impressions, and the top performing post. Same sort of thing for Pinterest. I don't know if you guys are using Pinterest, but this client was. So we do look at those sorts of content pieces. And to be honest, Pinterest may be an option for you down the track. It might be that you're sharing lists of books that people might be interested in, or collections, because you can certainly create a collection. So that might be something useful. Or, you do an inspiration page, like if you're doing a romance novel section, like the top 5 things to pair with your romance novel. A photo of a warm bath and a candle. I don't know.
I can definitely see a few of us having some good ideas for that.
Yeah, and I mean, I do love Pinterest because it does have a lot of organic reach, and it's a really fun place to play, and you don't really need to spend money. So it's kind of a little bit set and forget sometimes too. So if you have a moment of creativity sparking in your mind, feel free to have a play on Pinterest and just start creating some boards of ideas, because they do get reach over time.
And amazing.
And then obviously for us, we look at our benchmarking as well. So we just keep a track of like how we're growing, etc. This is the paid version. I will run through this really quickly, because obviously that's not something that right now is relevant, but we do keep an eye on like what our impressions were, our reach and our engagement, and the cost for each one, because obviously that's a very important figure for us. Traffic campaigns. So this one is more specifically, this one actually is across Facebook and Instagram. So business will show up on both, and they are adapted to be in each platform. So we just report on them as a whole in this respect. We can separate them out and report on what worked well on Facebook and what worked well on Instagram. And if we were doing a big campaign, so this is just our regular monthly content, but if we were doing, a 6-week campaign to drive a particular event, for example, we would break the report down further from a paid perspective, but just for our monthly insights, it's necessary. Again, traffic campaign, as we can see, there was a peak and it dropped off. This would likely be because it'd be when the ad spend ended. So, it just gives a bit more of an insight to when things were performing best and when they weren't. And then that's it. So I know that's really fast, but I obviously do want to make sure there's time to actually run through your campaigns too. And given that the slides will be there too, you can actually go through and analyze it a little bit further as well. So before I kick into campaigns, because I've got actually loaded up on my screen and we can chat through that collaboratively. But is there any other sort of questions around that organic reporting, or what metrics are important? I think typically I'd say the metrics that are important for libraries will be your engagement, your reach, followers, and then I guess on Instagram, saves, shares, comments, likes. They're probably the main ones. Potentially, if you've got events running, it'd be the click-through or event responses. If you're, have an event on Facebook itself, that would be something to report on. But those will probably be the main ones, because obviously we're not necessarily selling anything. So we're not looking at a conversion or click-through, how much did they spend, or average spend, or return on ad spend for the purchase. So they're probably the main ones.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
So,
are we ready to jump into the next section, or are we?
Yeah, I'm pretty much ready. How about everyone else? Does anyone else have any questions, any queries, concerns, anything they want cleared up before we move on to our little play session?
I am going to, so it's Tony here, just going to ask one question in terms of, like, this has been very informative, and I know there's written material that backs all of this up and everything else, but in a hypothetical world where, in 12 months time, this becomes something that someone's able to play with, and they're like, now there was that stuff, but I can't remember the things. Is there a platform that you would recommend, or perhaps like not recommend, in terms of places to go to get how-to instructions on this sort of material? I mean, many of us are familiar with just how insanely useful YouTube is, for example. Just thought I would ask for some thumbnail guidance on that.
Yeah, totally. So yes, YouTube, incredible. There is also on Facebook, there is a business hub. So you can jump into Facebook and they do have tutorials. It's more of a step-by-step guide. I can link that through at the end as well. And that basically will give you how-tos of to do things. The only, I guess, caveat I have to that is sometimes Facebook doesn't I guess, index its own information. So stuff might be published in 2017 that is absolutely wrong. So that's always a concern, but typically speaking, they will give an up-to-date version if you do look for something. So whether that's how to set up a campaign or, you know, how to report on an ad, for example. The other place I do recommend as well is LinkedIn. There is a learning hub within LinkedIn that has little micro videos and tutorials. If you can get into that, super, super awesome. And the other place that I guess in terms of industry insights, so like if in 12 months time, you're like, okay, well, is this still relevant? Is there more stuff I need to know? Social Media Today, which is a website, they always have really relevant how-tos and information about the latest sort of trends. Let's say there's like a new version of Reels or something that comes out and we need to learn how to use it quickly. That would be my go-to place for it because it's usually broken down in very simple English and very sort of step-by-step. Anyone can follow along sort of stuff, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. Any other questions at this stage? Beautiful.
No.
All right, Ashley, so I know you sent me through a campaign layout, and I actually love this. I think it's really cool. So
Thank you. Canva and I are slowly learning to like each other.
Oh, no, honestly, you've done very, very well. I think it's
you.
So I guess in terms of this campaign, some of the questions and things that we want to consider before even launching the campaign is budget. Do we have any budget?
I can definitely refer to Tony to this, where we both say no.
No, absolutely. The next question would be, is it a paid ticketed event or is it a...
Tony?
Yes, it is.
It is paid. Is it members only or is it...
No, so there's a pricing schedule where registrations are being managed through I think it's an Eventbrite account that sits with ALIA National. There'll be a web link to that becomes a part of the promotion once it goes live. And there's a pricing structure that says this price for members and this other price for non-members.
Excellent. And
we just currently don't have that yet.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, you've got a little bit of time. I mean, as I say that, I realize we're now in June, and that just shocks me.
Oh yeah.
And do we have a cap on guest numbers or an anticipated guest number?
The venue's probably going to peak out at about 150. Historically, we've gotten roughly 100 attendees, so should be good.
Okay, perfect. And so the reason why in this section we consider, I guess, these sorts of things is, okay, let's say we don't have budget, right? So let's say that we're like, okay, well, this is a paid event. We know that we're going to get roughly 100 people, and let's say a ticket's $5 for members and $15 for non-members. I actually don't know the pricing structure, but let's say in theory, maybe we could have a look at saying, well, we'd really actually like to get it to 200. Obviously, given that this caps out at 150, we don't really necessarily need to do that. But in theory, what we might be able to look at is then saying, look, what we actually can do is, because we know that we're going to be getting potentially between $500 and $1,000, we might actually be able to afford $50 to spend on this ad because we're actually taking it from what our future revenue will be. So that's where we can kind of step back and go, well, in order for us to hit this broader goal, and let's say this was a bigger event again and the ticket price was much higher, we could start to justify actually pulling budget where there is none, if that makes sense. And so then that way we can actually run them as ads and reach a new audience that we may not naturally reach, and then kind of use that as a leveraging tool. So these are sort of things about. So I guess in terms of the next step is, okay, let's say we have absolutely no budget, we can't justify it. So let's say there's, it was only whatever. Let's go with that theory. Current audience size. So do we know how many people we have on our email marketing lists?
Oh, do we?
there is a list there somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, let's say in theory we've got about 2,000 people. What we can do is obviously we'd make sure that the first thing we do is announce this via our email marketing list, and absolutely utilize that. I'm sure you guys already do, but it is something that people often overlook when they're setting up events, is they will go straight to Facebook, put the event on, and then maybe they would boost their post or something like that, but they're not actually paying attention to the rest of their existing audience. So utilize that email marketing list as much as you can, whether that's when you're sending out your monthly emails, you're putting, like, let's say it's a monthly newsletter at the end, always have that reminder to don't forget it's on, etc. Do an individual email just to invite people along. Social media, again, same sort of thing, is obviously we've got Facebook, and do we have much of an audience on Instagram?
We do not have an Instagram account. I have been pitching for ALIA Queensland to start an Instagram.
Absolutely. I think that needs to continue pitching, because obviously that also would be really, really useful for when the actual live, because you'd be getting people to tag, you'd be getting real live content. So ideally we have that set up before the event happens, as you know, you could even have your QR codes on the night for the event to actually have people starting to follow the page. Which would be awesome. You know, follow us and you get a potential sauce bottle out of it. Like a lucky dip. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
So I guess in terms of this creative, I think it's awesome. What I'd like to see as well is other formats of the creative. So in Canva, you can obviously do some animations, maybe try and do an animation for Facebook, so it actually shows up as a video to help with that reach as well. Whether that's just, you know, the sauce dripping out or something.
Yeah, definitely.
I suppose in saying that as well, you know, different sort of, like, we can get it in a square shape as well. I do like that this is a more of an A5 poster. It will take up more of your phone screen. So I definitely, when promoting on social media, I do not recommend, unless it's in the event, you know, Facebook event where you need to, I always will recommend something that's like a 4x5. So slightly bigger than that square, that 1x1 square, because the reality is most people are using their phone when they're looking at it, and it takes up more of the screen. So they're more likely to stop scrolling. With the event itself, again, this was coming back to asking questions around, can we pitch for budget? Will it be a PR or content creation opportunity? So obviously if we get more people there, then obviously we can create.
Definitely will be. It's one of the 2 big ALIA events of the year.
Brilliant.
ALIA Queensland events of the year.
Excellent. And then in that respect as well, do we have content from last year that we can use to promote the event as well?
Tony?
There's probably some content there. Yep.
Because I think that's another thing as well, is like, obviously people love seeing what's happening, but they also want to see the hype from the year before. They want to see how cool it is, or, you know, haven't been before, is there people I can talk to, whatever, right? So that's another way to sort of, I guess, get that exposure out there. Another option could be a like and share competition to get a free ticket, perhaps. And you know, 4 or 5 free tickets, you and 3 friends can come share this post with 3 friends. That'll help from an organic perspective to actually get the post out there further. What offline promotion do we have? So, you know, is this able to be printed and put into, you know, with a little QR code at the bottom into applications or libraries?
Pony?
Oh dear. We have historically just gone with online promotion. We do piggyback a lot on the fact that ALIA National has a large email list that they send out to with like upcoming events, etc. So there'll be a number of those emails going out between now and the day of the event. Sure is an interesting idea to see what we can do about getting likes and shares and promoting it that way.
I think, I mean, from a digital perspective, that could be a way to get around this no budget, right? Like, is giving, or even if it's something that, you know, maybe it's not free tickets, maybe it's and I guess obviously we don't have a lot of time between what we do, but in terms of everyone has a busy schedule and a busy life. But, you know, you could do something really fun and collaborate with like a sauce bottle company or sauce company that's local to create an ALIA sauce, which is extra spicy or something. And that could be a prize for the winner, right? ALIA branded sauce. And it's something that's kind of, it may not cost you much or anything if, you know, there's a local jam producer or sauce producer that's keen to get involved. It does take legwork. It takes time to actually build those relationships. But then a bit of hype and a bit of silliness, it kind of relates back to this. that again, people sharing.
Yeah.
So, you know, it doesn't always have to be, you know, you get 5 tickets or you get something and you guys losing money. It could be an exclusive experience or exclusive promo or gift within the brand or thing that actually allows you to reach a new audience and have a bit of fun with them as well. So
yeah,
it could be an option down the track. Or
yeah, we've had the suggestion of bookmarks in the chat as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Bookmarks that we can give out on the night, or do
I think
something else with.
bookmarks on the night would be an excellent idea, especially if you have an Instagram account, so you can have them printed on the bottom.
Okay,
absolutely. But yeah, definitely something that's little quirky, slightly high value that people are going to, you know, follow.
We all read, so I definitely can see us using them.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. I think bookmarks are an excellent idea in terms of just keeping filing front of mind regardless.
Yeah.
And then obviously this question here was how long do we have to the event? I can see how long we have to the event, but it is a question to ask because it can start going into your planning strategy. So go ahead.
Yeah. That kind of refers to a question we've also had in the chat from Linda. Are you able to help with recommended timelines for advertising before an event, e.g. save the dates, coming up, recommendations and the like?
Absolutely. So I suppose what I'd typically like to see for an event is somewhere between, you know, 4 and 6 weeks would be the maximum sort of time. I mean, obviously, if it was like an opera and it was a really massive event, it'd be very different. But for something like this, what we want to do is we can do a save the date about 8 weeks beforehand if we would like to, just so we get front of mind. I mean, obviously, particularly if your event's anywhere in November and December, you want to get in quick because it's silly season and everyone's crazy busy. So definitely a save the date can kind of go out, you know, the 8-week mark before the event. But then in terms of the advertising and pushing the posts, etc., like you can create your Facebook event around then too if you'd like to. Typically I'd say 6 weeks, but you can, if you want to get in a bit early, you can. Yeah. But then you'd be looking to start your posting between that 4 and 6 week period because you don't want to be too far out that people think, I'll come back to that later. And you don't want to be too close to the date where people have already booked themselves in for something else. So in terms of frequency, you don't want to obviously oversaturate your audience. If you did have budget, then you'd have a lot more opportunities to just, you know, set your ads and run them for that 6 week period because you've got the time there and it's not showing up in their feed every 5 seconds and it's not going to be on your every 5 seconds because that's the other thing as well. The organic point of view is we don't want to see every time I see a post from ALIA come up, I'm seeing the same post. It drive you nuts, right? So that's where the benefit of the pay comes in. If there's even a little bit of budget, like even if it's $15-20, it means that you can just have that message kind of evergreen in the background or promoting to the right people. You know, for example's sake, if we had, you know, our ALIA national list that we could run into the back end of Facebook, we could create it as a custom audience, which I think we that's our previous one. And then you can just target those people with your $20 spend or $100 spend. Just so that even if they haven't seen it in their inbox or they've deleted it, it's popping up in their feed, so it's front of mind. So you're not even really targeting people outside of that space. There's people that you know will be definitely interested in this event. Obviously, this particular campaign too is quite niche. Like it's not, we're not saying, you know, a seniors reading club because that's a big, much broader audience. There isn't that really niche interest type of base, if that makes sense. But yes, so hang on, so like frequency, timelines, advertising, save the date, coming up, registrations. So yeah, so I would definitely recommend obviously Facebook events for you guys as well. Putting the link in for registrations. Typically speaking, I'd like to see maybe for the first 6 weeks and the first week of the 6 weeks, I guess that's hopefully that makes sense. You know, maximum one post a week for that first 6. I mean, you can be doing stories as well. You could potentially be doing reels too. So as long as that creative is not necessarily always the same thing in the feed over and over again, people won't get as good at it. So for example's sake, for this particular event, you could do a posting this poster saying, yeah, we're super excited to see you. The next post might be a carousel or, you know, a collection of photos that may have the square version of this and photos from the previous event. still showing their feed, but it gets a little bit more excitement, then you might go back to continuous again. Then you've got the event as well. There might be an animation of this, so you can post it a couple of times if that makes sense in terms of organic. From a paid point of view. Again, that's kind of just continuously running. In the lead up to the event, definitely looking at 5 days out, 2 days out, and the day before. So I'm going to make sure that we've got slightly different creative, but it can be quite similar. But maybe the tablecloth colors changed, or maybe you've got moving parts, or maybe there's a bit more information about what, like for example, this one we've got come in, trivia night, etc. Maybe there's more like door prize one, etc. So we can kind of change it up a little bit, so it's not the same. But 5 days to go, 2 days or 3 days to go, or 2 or 3 days to go, depending on when your registrations close as well, because it's event and stuff. And then the day before as well, 1 day to go, last 24 hours, buy your tickets, don't forget, etc. And that should sort of help you push out that messaging.
Okay, yeah, that sounds amazing. Thank you.
No, that's okay. So I guess in terms of that, is there, questions, further questions?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say how long is a piece of string, but it is.
I can't think of anything. If any of the other ALIA Queensland team members are here and want to ask questions about this, go ahead. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
In terms of setting that EDM as well, same sort of concept. Like you've got your 6-week campaign, so maybe you've got one EDM a week in general about, the first one might be save the date announcing that it's coming up. That'd be 6 weeks out. EDM, your email marketing. 6 weeks out, you put your save the date, you put this in, don't forget it's on. And then over the next couple of weeks, in the bottom of your regular emails, just don't forget to register, have a little banner at the bottom, click here to buy your tickets. And then approximately a week out, next week it's on, and then probably the day before, or 3 days before, again, depending on, is it hard to get to, how much money, etc. That's when we send that final push being like, it's happening soon, buy your ticket now, etc. So that scarcity, don't miss out sort of thing. Because, typically with events, you find a lot of your registrations, and again, it might be different with your audience, but typically a lot of registrations will happen within that last 48 hours before the event, or last week before the event, regardless of if you've been pushing it for 6 weeks.
That has absolutely been what happens. Like 2 days before the event, you start stressing about whether there's going to be enough sales. But yeah.
That's always the way, which is why a lot of people will do early bird tickets just to cover their bases. So if you, that's option 2, and it depends again on how much it's up. But if you are doing an event like a bigger event and you want to make sure you've got the numbers, that's why our early bird tickets are usually staggered. Like early bird lasts for 2 or 3 weeks, then it goes to second chance early bird, I suppose it's called, and then your final ticket price there, because that way people will get in at different price points. Money is always a motivator. So if the ticket's $500 reduced down to $420 perhaps for the early bird, you know that you're going to get that price. So at least you're starting to get your numbers in. But yeah, it is really hard. Like there's always events, and even right up until the door. People coming. Do you guys have a door ticket for this as well, or is it free tickets?
Yeah, no, there sure are people who show up with like, can I buy a ticket at the door?
Okay.
That happens.
Okay, cool. And you guys do allow that? Perfect. If you can make that happen, it's always worth it, because you will always have people like, hey, I'm going to this thing tonight, do you want to come? And it's like, oh yeah, I'll buy a ticket on the door. So that may even be worth putting in that final post, sort of saying tickets on the door, but show that they're going to cost a little bit more, perhaps. So that again, it pushes people to buy, but it also gives people that option that if they do want to come and have missed out on a ticket online, that they actually know they're welcome and are able to come along as well.
Yeah. Sounds awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
That's okay. Do we have any other campaigns we'd like to through? Any other questions?
Yeah. Anyone else like to share their campaign or social media that they've been working on?
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a campaign. We can just look at what social you've been doing lately, what's working, what's not working, run a library, give it an assessment.
Yeah. It sounds like we've got a bit of a shy crowd at the moment.
No, that's cool.
Rhonda, you've got something? Seems to be the only one without. Anyone? Anyone?
Right. I mean, look, even if it's not campaign really.
Okay, Linda, would you like to show what you're working on?
Oh, that sounds so fun. So Linda's you're organizing a Children's Week dinner. Or children's book. Is that for parents and kids, or just parents, or just kids?
I've just asked her to unmute. If you'd like to unmute and talk, we'd love to hear about it, or even share what you've been working on.
That's okay. So
sorry, it took me a minute. I didn't have my microphone connected. I was working without my headphones on.
No, that's fine.
We don't have anything organised in terms of promotion yet.
Okay.
And that was part of the reason that I'm attending these sessions is we really want to get a bit more savvy about how we do our promotions. So we know we're having a children's book week dinner. It's for adults.
Oh.
What kinds of things should we be thinking about for that promotion?
Absolutely. So Linda, I'm assuming that you don't have any paid spend for this one either.
No
Okay,
paid spend.
That's cool. There is a hack with parents on Facebook because it's the one audience on Facebook that you can actually target, which is amazing. Not so much parents, I'm sorry, but it is for advertisers trying to reach parents because you can actually set that as a demographic and hit parents with kids of a certain age. So that's a really good way to do it if we did have budget. But if we don't, with the book week dinner, does it cost money for people to come?
Yes, it's quite expensive. So it usually ends up at about $85.
Okay, cool. And you've run this event before?
Yes, we have. And so we're trying to develop the promotion that we have. It usually is promoted and at the last minute, we're trying to get people to come. And so this year we're thinking about, well, how can we do this better so that we can get a wider spread of people coming along so that we can extend the reach of the organisation as well. But
no, absolutely. Have you got an email list of the people that came last time? Like, do they give their email address when they come?
Yes, we do have email addresses. I hadn't thought of that.
Yep. So I definitely think creating, have you used Canva before, Linda? Or like,
yes.
Perfect. So creating a banner or, an email sort of template with the invite, sending it to those people first would be awesome. Definitely creating a Facebook group or event. So what you could do, and with the ticketing, is that done by Eventbrite or is that done through the library itself? Like, how does that ticketing work?
Yeah, through Eventbrite. Yes.
Cool. So obviously, having that email go out with the event, like the event ticket link. But what I'd also look to link as well is like the Facebook event. So actually put it in there and add the link to the Facebook event. So set one up on Facebook and sort of say, we'd love you to share this with your friends, or we'd love you to let us know that you're attending, or register your interest. And obviously in the Facebook event to have that ticket link. So once they hit attending, their friends will start to see that from a digital perspective. So at least gives you a bit more share and reach.
That's a good idea.
Definitely encourage them to do that. Is it dress up or is it
not usually, no.
Okay.
But we often have guest speakers. They're not locked in at the moment. They're a fabulous night. Everyone who comes along has a brilliant time. It's the promotion that we're not doing well. So the event's done fabulously. The promotion not so well.
Is there any way you can potentially collaborate with some of the schools in the local area and ask them to include the flyer in their emails?
Yeah, C. Burton has just said, have you targeted school library staff or hub groups?
Yeah. Because that could definitely be an organic way. So whether that's reaching out to the school library or the school itself and say, hey, look, we've got this fabulous event coming up. We love celebrating kids and books and learning, and we want parents to be involved, or even the library staff themselves, and ask them whether they would be happy to pop up like a poster in the area school itself, or B, would they be able to include like a little banner or a little link, and so creating it as a banner for the actual school emails that go out at the newsletters every week. which gives them the opportunity again to follow back. And so that could be a link directly to that, the Eventbrite link. Or it could also go back to that Facebook page as well. Again, getting people to like it and follow it and engage with it. And then obviously for you guys too, just posting about it on Facebook as well. Do you guys use Instagram too, Linda, or is it just the Facebook page?
Yes, we do.
So, that could be another opportunity, would be, again, and it depends on the appetite, but you could do a competition for a free ticket, or you and your partner win a free ticket, and it's a like and share, tag a friend competition, which would help with that reach. So that competition would look like, if it was Instagram based, which typically we do see a fair amount more results on Instagram than Facebook, is tag your friend, share this to your story and tag us for an extra chance to win, and follow us on Instagram. And then, potentially you're giving away 2 free tickets, or maybe you have a sponsor or someone and you can give them a bottle of wine on the night, whatever it is, something that's not going to break the bank, but it helps get that reach out there and helps get that sharing happening.
Yes. Tony says, if using paper-based promotions, always include a QR code.
Absolutely. So if you are doing any promos, exactly right, Tony.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And there are also some really great websites online. If you just look up create QR code, there's some really great free websites online that help you create those QR codes for you.
Thank you. I've got some really great ideas here already that we haven't been using. So thank you. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, so if you were paper-based on this one, what you would do is you create the QR code to buy the ticket now. And you also put a QR code on there to the Facebook event, because they may not be in a position to buy the ticket immediately. So they can at least get interested. And then obviously just before the event. And so this was just a caveat back to my statement about not posting in the Facebook page or Instagram page organically too much about the event. You can absolutely be putting tickets into your Facebook event itself, because people are already interested. So that week out, you'd be putting in things like, can't wait to celebrate with you, or check out some pics from the last one, if you're not sure, or, the announcements about, extra links to information about those guest speakers, for example, and sort of hyping people up about buying those tickets, those last minute ticket buyers, which there are a fair few of us. So you can definitely keep promoting it. That'd be maybe once a day, putting stuff in there.
Brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So, anyone else like to share their event or something they're working on in their social media?
Hi again, it's Christy.
Hi.
How are you going now?
Yeah, look, I'm all right. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. Sorry, I'm multitasking.
No.
Somebody just mentioned put pictures from last time, and I was just quickly flicking an email to the event that happened yesterday, because we're having another one tomorrow. Yeah. So currently our library's just hosting, but a council combined event with CWA and I think it's Landcare, the local Landcare group, for World Environment Day.
Awesome.
And they're talking to some local artists and shop owners and things about reducing textile waste.
Yep.
Yeah, so that part's really cool. Of course, I found out about it last week, and our first event was yesterday. Yep. Then we have 2 tomorrow, and then a little bit of a break until the 21st when we have another 2 events. So I've got a bit more time to advertise for the 2 that are happening on the 21st. But everything's just been so rushed that, they got 10 yesterday, which for a small library branch was pretty good. Tomorrow morning is our biggest library branch event, and I think we have 5 people that have put their name down so far. So just trying to drum up a bit of business last minute, and getting some ideas for how to improve for the next ones that are coming up.
Totally. So one thing you can do on Instagram is you can set up collaborative posts. So given that you actually have collaborators for this, I think that's going to be awesome. Additionally, for your event, you've got a lot of information to share. So you've got artists that you can profile and feature. So you can, if you're creating an Instagram post with them, you can add them in as a collaborator. So what that means is on your profile and it shows on their profile as well. So the engagement is shared. So that's always a really great way to get reach. You obviously can add the council and you can add the land care. I might have missed this. But
I think it was land care. Yes.
Yeah, the land care organization as well. So each time you're doing that, and by adding them as a collaborator to that Instagram post, it cross-pollinates. So their audience sees you, and vice versa, your audience sees them. But the biggest benefit is that you've got multiple collaborators, and even if that's, the artists aren't necessarily the main promotion collaborators, but they are people involved, you can definitely look to add them as collaborators in that post if they are comfortable. They need to accept it, but that's a way that one way to actually start getting that reach out there. I guess the other thing for you would be as well, and local universities, potentially even, your fashion design students, those local businesses, trying to, if you can get in touch with them and email the local uni for the fashion design group about that fabric waste, that's obviously a really useful thing. So try and get them in that way. So it might be a little bit of manual emailing, but just get in touch with the person that makes the decision, have a flyer ready, attach it, which has the information about maybe the artists, what's on, what they're going to learn, etc. Local businesses, same sort of thing. Those ones that are involved, a poster with a QR code would be awesome.
Yeah.
A rent-a-crowd is a great idea.
That's a cool idea.
But 100%, and that, I guess in the earlier point of the slide is this a content creation opportunity? Because if it is, then maybe we want to push it that little bit harder to get those more people. So maybe that is a way that we can secure a budget, because we want to get as many photos. And I guess in terms of that rent-a-crowd too, let's say you can't rent a crowd, one of my hacks would be trying to get them to maybe be all in one sort of little area. So you cut the picture so it looks like there's more people in it.
Yes.
Because obviously we want to make sure that people are seeing hype in that respect as well. Is there any content that the artists have created that you can regram or share, or would any of them potentially be interested in helping design the poster perhaps?
Oh, cool. So we had an interesting thing where I was asked to promote it, and so I made a poster, and then I got a poster sent to me from comms afterwards, of course. Yeah. So what I'm doing now is using the two interchangeably or in different times, different places to, just not have the same information in front of everybody's eyes all the time, because they're vastly different looking. So that part's good. I like your idea about talking to the artists. So I'm making notes for next year and what we do next year, because I've sort of short notice.
It is definitely, I understand. I think, if you are able to, particularly for next year, now you've got a bit of, you've definitely got lead time for that. If you can get them involved and kind of leverage off their coolness, do it.
Yes.
Because people want to go to an event that they feel that A, is cool, but B, that's kind of exclusive to them, and that they're getting a bit of a unique experience they wouldn't get elsewhere. And that's what I was sort of saying about if there's any way to do, next year. Is the event free to go to?
Yes, it's free.
Okay, cool. So there's obviously
and afternoon tea or morning tea provided, depending on what time of day it is.
That's very cool. One thing you could potentially do for next year as well would be, depending on what the artist does, maybe they would be able to create a small piece of artwork that they're willing to donate that could be given away as a prize for people sharing and entering a competition to come along.
Wow.
That could be a really cool thing to do, is share that we've got this event coming up, share this post, tag a friend, share it to your story, whatever it is, follow us for your chance to win so-and-so's design on the day, and it'll be drawn on the day, and we'll announce it and you'll get it as a prize on the day. So obviously then it makes them come to get it as well. But it helps get sharing stuff happening too. So yeah, hopefully there's some ideas that you can use, but I think you've definitely done the right thing by creating multiple designs to promote the event and share different sort of versions of it. Obviously having the Facebook page as multiple events will be useful too. So the event page, promoting it on Instagram, if you can get content while you're there, potentially even if you can, get some content for next year this time. So either at this event on tomorrow or the next one, having the artist or having whoever is presenting, maybe do a little piece to camera and film it on your phone so you can cut it into a reel.
Nice.
So that cut, a bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of like why they're passionate about it. It might be them just talking to the camera about it, but getting content. But you can also start using that content throughout the year too. So you can say, last year or 6 months ago, we did this awesome event. We're super passionate about being involved in the community. We're really passionate about the environment. Did you check this out? There'll be one coming up soon. So sort of use that as a soft event promotion until we have a next date, if that makes sense, for next year. For this year,
cool.
Tomorrow you could do the same thing. You could say that person who's on the speaking or whatever it is, like film a little bit behind the scenes. So like grabbing a phone and just sort of filming some B-roll. Obviously, permission for sharing people involved photos, but hopefully that's part of their sign up form. And then asking, potentially participants who've been at the event, if they're willing to give a little bit of feedback on what they thought, if they're comfortable being on camera to film that. And same thing with the actual presenters as well, as getting a little bit of content on them too. So you can cut it into a reel to share on Instagram, tag them in it. Hopefully they share it and get social sharing going.
Cool. That's some great ideas. Thank you.
No worries at all. It sounds really cool. Where is it?
Hey, so we're in New South Wales, and we've got we have 5 branches of our libraries in the Upper Hunter Shire, and so we're hosting. I guess it'll be a similar event because they've got the same people coming at each of our library branches. So
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it should be really cool.
This time next year, I'll come to the Hunter and go to the event because it sounds really cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you so much for sharing. How about anyone else? Does anyone else want to put their hand up to talk about one of the projects they're working on or want to get some feedback on? Anyone?
I also expect that you guys are all going to trivia night in August on the 2nd at ALIA.
Oh, yeah. we do hope you'll be there because we'd really love to see you all. And I've been told very often that we've got some great prizes and everyone gets very competitive and we have a lot of fun. We have a professional quiz master and everything.
Is it generalized trivia or is it live?
Tony?
It's a little from column A and a little from column B. The quizmaster is aware that he's preparing for a room full of librarians who are insanely competitive about trivia. But having said that, no, there's usually questions about any and everything. Form an eclectic group, make sure there's a millennial in there that knows about all the doof music, and
Yeah, no, I
don't just know about the duft of music. I know about the fantasy swords too.
Aha! Roll funny dice for effect and make stuff up.
Literally, that might even be a question. We don't know. It could be.
Yeah. Well, as you saw, this year's going to be saucy subjects, so we're interested to see what kind of subjects get brought up and what questions get asked.
That may be interpreted in risque ways. We're not sure.
It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, my mind went straight to when was Heinz founded? So obviously, I'm just like, oh yeah, that sounds nice.
We definitely had that. We definitely had those sorts of things. We're also thinking about more of the taboo topics. Exactly.
As well as the source of things, so point of origin.
Yes.
It can run in many directions.
It definitely could. That sounds like a fun event, guys. Does anyone else have any questions about their campaigns or just general social media questions, how to create content, etc.?
I am going to throw something in there that I heard mentioned in one of the earlier meetings, and that was the concept of using sort of an interface between, for example, Facebook and LinkedIn in order to target, a professional audience, for example.
So
just wonder, yeah.
When you say use an interface between Facebook and LinkedIn, do you mean like different types of audiences for those, or why use one and why not use the other?
Well, no, I'm just wondering if we put together a Facebook event, can we kind of join the leverage that via LinkedIn in order to target a professional audience for that event?
Yeah, you definitely could. You could set up you could add the link to a LinkedIn post, and you obviously change the language a little bit and have them respond on Facebook. You can also look at setting up a LinkedIn event. Like there are the event functions on LinkedIn as well, which you can host events, tag people, tag collaborators, and have a different audience there. And if it was going, I guess the main question would be, is it going to an external link to book tickets or not? And if it is, great, because then you can have two separate ones. So you'd have the same event, same day, potentially different visuals depending on if it is that much different. But you have a LinkedIn event with your Eventbrite link and a Facebook event with your Eventbrite link. Typically speaking, though, if you were to, let's say, use an offline QR code for that, you still would likely link back to the Facebook event, unless it was a really, really professional topic. Like, let's say it was how to redo your resume. Actually, to be honest, redo your resume is probably not even professional enough. If it was like a CPA accounting, I don't know, monthly meeting, and they're talking about the latest Xero updates, that might be more LinkedIn than Facebook. And so in that case, you would obviously link to the LinkedIn event. But yes, I would definitely recommend, if you have an audience that would be interested in your event on LinkedIn that's relevant. So if it was, as we said, like a local group or something that's more professional, absolutely promote there, and potentially create its own event there as well, with the link and language slightly adjusted to that professional tone.
So,
yeah.
Sorry, you go ahead. So say it was an event for that trivia night that we're doing.
Yeah.
How would you change the poster?
Well, for that event, I actually probably wouldn't worry about it, because it's a professional networking event. It's fun. It obviously, then I guess that would be one thing around language, would be build your network of librarians, build your professional network.
Okay, yeah.
Using that sort of language around industry event, rather than fun night events.
Okay, yeah.
So for you, in that case, no. But it was because what it is, like, it's obviously a fun event. It's not coming to about computer coding, for example. But it was like, you could have different language or different imagery for LinkedIn versus Facebook. I guess that makes more. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
But you also know, because yours is definitely a fun event, but it is industry. So you could absolutely create a LinkedIn event for that as well.
Thank you.
Even, for example, have at the bottom of the LinkedIn event, you could have share this on Facebook and actually have the link to the Facebook event too.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe wasn't on LinkedIn, because that's the only one for LinkedIn is there's still people weirdly not on it. So I think both is useful.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, it's Charmaine here. Unfortunately, I don't have a poster that I can share, but we are having a friends quiz night.
That sounds cool.
In July. And our media guy has imposed the library staff's faces onto the bodies of the characters of Friends, and
I love that.
He's put us on the couch.
That's so cute.
So we're still in very early stages of getting this together, but I really like the idea about the early bird ticket prize thing, because this will be a quiz night with tables and there will be prizes and things, so we can encourage people to book in early. Absolutely. But some really good ideas here. Thanks, folks.
No, that's absolutely fine, Charmaine. And also, will you have different price for tables? So, like, obviously you can buy an individual ticket, but the other option as well would be doing a whole table price too.
That would be right, yes.
Yeah.
I think it will be a free event, but I probably need to clarify that. And we usually use multiple platforms to advertise. So we use Facebook mainly, and then there's a link to our Instagram account. We email all our library members, and we have a newsletter that we put it in, and the council also supports the events too. And we also have being in a regional country town, we have a local TV network that does cache classifies. So we, do a 20, 30 word little spot on there. Costs us a fortune, but I think it's actually been working for lots of our events, which is
no, I think that's awesome. And
yeah,
that's a great move. And that's a big thing as well, is like, obviously I work in social's my bread and butter, but I'm a big believer in offline as well. Like a lot of what we do, because it's organic marketing, we sort of say go offline to get online. Like our biggest goal is to grow our audience, but we also know that when you don't have budget to do that, there is offline activity that's important to do as well, which then can obviously flip backwards and forwards. The other thing I realized I just haven't told you guys about, which, sorry, but we're here now, is you can actually set event reminders on Instagram stories and posts too. So I definitely would recommend doing that. It's in the settings when you're posting it. You can add on the stories, there's like a sticker button, and you can add an event countdown or an event reminder. And you can do the same thing on posts if you're posting organically, like using the Instagram app to post. If you're doing it in a scheduler, you don't have that opportunity. But in, open up Instagram, add post, etc., type in your stuff. There's a section in the settings that will give you an option to add your date for when it comes up.
Thank you,
Chris. Thank you so much for sharing. We've also got Chrissy's just posted her 2 posters as well, so we can take a look at those.
Yeah, very cool. I like these.
Yeah.
And are these, Christy, are these shared to Facebook and Instagram, or are they print material?
So they're both on Facebook. We don't have an Instagram account currently, but they're also print versions. So I've put them on the notice boards. I've put them out the front. I've put them everywhere I can think of.
I think my only feedback, if we're going on social, particularly on Facebook, would be having the imagery. So the image would be the photo, whatever picture you pick or design you pick, the event name, the event date, and maybe the location. But there's a lot of information on this that kind of would get missed. So that's where it goes into the body of the post, because obviously you have a bit more room to move that. So definitely awesome from a print point of view, useful from a, I guess, a social point of view. But if you're looking to recreate these again, just reduce the text. Pull out the main few things and then put the text into the body of the post or into the event itself, so people can learn more or read more there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of what I've done. I've used the flyer as the picture for the post, and then I've put the important information in the, where I've typed, hey, everybody come to our event, sort of thing. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just realized I could share them that way. So
perfect. Thank you. No, they look really cool, and they are really fun. They're very different. But yes, I think that you're onto a good option here. I like this first one as well. I do like that it's got the lady sitting on the clothes. I guess they're clothes.
So that's the pictures that the top one's the one I made. I was sent those pictures from the lady who's organising the event. So the bottom right one is the textile artist and her creation that she's made with recycled textiles. And then like inspirational, somebody standing on a pile of scary, discarded clothing.
Well, you can pull those images out and do them as a carousel on Instagram. So you could have, the sort of main picture, and it might say, World Environment Day, upcycle, or, Project 333. And then it's sort of a swipe through. And so you can have those images there with information. And you can also then, I guess, post those individually as different content pieces too, having a bit of information about, one would be, let's say it's a lady sitting on the pile of clothing, why it's important, why you're doing it. And the other one might be the artist call out and a bit about how she upcycles or why she does it. So you're still promoting it in a softer way, but, and creating more content for yourself too. So obviously reducing the amount across your content calendar, but you're not fatiguing the audience with having the same message every single time.
Yep, that's cool.
But yeah, they look cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to share anything? You guys can even talk about things that you want to work on in the future, like big events that your libraries are doing, that you want to get some good ideas on how to pitch content or be able to pitch to try and get a social media budget. So if there's any questions you might have on that, I'm happy to answer them. What are your thoughts on creating Instagram polls to promote engagement in events?
Yeah, hell yeah. So when you say to promote engagement events, do you mean during the event or I guess before the event? Because I think both would be cool. I actually really like the idea of actually doing the polling while you're at the event. I think that's awesome because then you get the audience to go to your Instagram page, interact with you, but you know, it could be like vote for A, vote for B, during and before. I think that's great. I think that'd be really, really cool, Rhoda. I think that's an awesome idea. I haven't seen many people do it well, to be honest with you. A lot of events aren't super interactive. I have seen, what did I go to? I recently went to a Jay Shetty event and he did get an Instagram, I guess, thing. Like obviously he's a celebrity. I don't know if you guys know him. He wrote a book about love. Anyway, he went along and his way to get people to interact with him was to share a picture on the night and tag him. And then the person that he drew out of the randomly got to go backstage and talk to him at the end or something like that. So he did
That's really cool.
Mobile engagement as well on Instagram as a promotion for his upcoming events and his book, his launch as well. That was the purpose of the event. Basically what it was about how you love or what you love about love or something like that, which was the book. So you posted a story, you tagged him, you sort of answered his question, created a little bit of hype for his book while you were there, and then someone got drawn out at the end to go and, you know, go to his hangout and talk to him. I don't know, just afterwards. But that was a really cool way of using social. I really like this. I think that, you know, quite a lot of times there is those polls. Who was out here recently? Ottolenghi was out here and he had a poll voting thing. Same, if you won the poll, you go up on stage with him, except he, like a polling app like you use at uni, it's an individual app. I think this is awesome. You know, in those question boxes, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and answering this question. And at the end, you could show up, you could sort of say, you know, this person got the most correct. And again, that's how they win. Or even as part of a trivia night, for example, you can have that as a bonus. Actually, voting on the different questions, and at the end, maybe wins. But yeah, awesome idea. I really like that.
Oh, that's awesome. Anyone else? We've got about 15 minutes left, so please be as loud or comments, queries, concerns, anything you guys have got, please voice now or forever hold your peace. Yeah. Any questions about any of the platforms, any of the things that we've covered in the last 3 workshops are welcome as well. So if you've got any questions that we didn't really answer in workshop 1 or 2, please voice them now and we try to answer them as best as we can. Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm not sure if everyone's pretty okay with what we've gone through so far, or if they're just all thinking and ruminating on what we've done.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see all of your events and like I'm really, really excited to see what you guys will be doing with Instagram. You know, and when I say running events, it doesn't even have to be a big event. Like it could just be come in on Tuesday and, you know, setting up Facebook events for Tuesdays being reading day or whatever it is. You know, doing little stories about that. I think you guys are producing some awesome content and definitely coming out of the different libraries. I've been keeping my eye on it for weeks.
Thank you.
I'm see the rest of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure we can start doing some really fun stuff with our reels and our Facebook videos and stuff like that, hopefully.
Yeah, and I guess one of the big things as well from an organic point of view, collaborate with each other. You know, even have some fun. For example, like let's say State of Origin, we team up with like New South Wales Library and sort of put your best authors forward and have people vote for State of Origin. It's fun and play.
Have some fun rivalry between Queensland libraries. Oh, that would be fun.
It could be anything, right? Like just having a bit of play. It doesn't have to be in your own silo. Like you can collaborate with people outside of that space. Obviously, very similar industry. You can go further again and
I can definitely see it working for a lot of our more national library events like simultaneous story time, library information week, children's book week. I can definitely see that being useful, us all talking to each other and hopefully creating more expansive ads across the library universe, you could say.
Definitely. Because I guess that's like the more reach both the libraries would get on that post by like the individual audiences engaging, it means that the algorithm's going to put it out to wider people too. So more of your community would see it, more of their community would see it. So ultimately it's win-win for everyone involved.
Hannah?
Yeah, hi. I'm so sorry. I have to confess, I only jumped on 2 minutes ago. I totally forgot this was on. It has been one of those, I was going to say days, but honestly, months.
Yeah, I literally got on 2 minutes ago, so.
Because I missed the previous session too, which was devastating, but it's recorded, so that's good. But I guess just to close, being aware that I've missed a lot, possibly even Ashley, do you reckon it'd be possible to like set up some sort of ongoing team where we could maybe just touch base going forwards to help facilitate some of that collaboration, so you know who to contact in different areas?
It's definitely a question that I can throw towards ALIA, the big people, the big like ALIA National and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I know ALIA groups and stuff like that would definitely be the people to talk to.
Okay.
About that, and I can definitely see what they might think, because I know this is definitely something new that we've done as ALIA as a whole, doing these social media workshops, having someone like Ella come in and explain social media to a lot of us. So definitely start opening those pathways towards everyone and starting those conversations is definitely something we can look at, and maybe we can have a town hall discussion once a month or once every couple of months,
like once a quarter or something.
Yeah,
I think having like even peer review stuff from your own, hey, we're working on this strategy, like, because the other thing as well is like, obviously you all celebrate book week, so yeah, to sort of talk about like what's working well in your campaign, what's not working well, ideas, like big brains trust person. I think that's awesome. Thank you, Hannah.
Yeah.
No worries. Anyway, yes, if anyone wanted to reach out, I would love to chat further. But thank you so much, and I look forward to reviewing the lectures.
That's okay.
No dramas.
All the best ideas come out of Redlands City Council.
There you go. So that's why.
Oh, stop it, Tony. Hey, it's been a long time. Hey.
Yeah, but yeah, it's great to see everyone opening up about the different platforms that we're using, how we can hopefully bring some cross platform content, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what has been birthed from these workshops and all the rest of it.
And yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
I know that there was a lot to take in. So and also thank you very much for sharing your ideas and shouting out what you'd like to learn, because it makes it a lot easier for me to know what you don't know, what you do know, what you want to know, rather than just sort of dictating it to you. So I definitely appreciate the interaction as well.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with how many of you guys signed up, how many of you guys have been talking and sharing information, and it's been really heartwarming as someone who is very new to the library space. I've only been an official librarian for at least 2 years now. And just, yeah, I'm really excited to see where we all go in the future.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Looks like we've hit about 12:20. So we do have 10 minutes scheduled. So if there's anything last minute, anything like shot in the dark, no question is too stupid kind of thing. You'd be surprised how often we said.
There is no stupid questions, really.
Yeah, please say them now, type them in chat, we'll talk about it. Any topics of discussion that's social media related that you want to bring up, please do so. We would love to hear them. What are some good techniques for building followers?
For Facebook or Instagram?
Let's do both.
Okay. Instagram would be external engaging, so liking, commenting, making sure that when you're posting, like basically when you're posting, if there's someone that's engaging with you a lot, commenting back. using hashtags. I think we covered that in one of our previous sessions, but that does get further reach. Following industry leaders, authors, etc., engaging with their content, watching stories, people that are tagging you, making sure that you're sort of regramming their content if you can, if it's appropriate, obviously. And then reaching out and commenting and liking on other people's posts in a respectful way. So that typical engaging, something you could do obviously would be look for community groups in your local area and follow their followers, or engage, I wouldn't say follow, sorry, like and engage with their followers. Looking for, the council, having a look at who follows them, engaging with them, etc. So that's one way of getting that outreach. Looking at location tags on Instagram too. If someone's checking into a certain region near you or your region, engaging, liking, etc. That sort of increases your chance of reach and helps people follow you. Facebook is a little bit different. I'm not going to say difficult, but different. A lot of that space is a bit more pay to play with the page like ads. However, you can still build your follower base by encouraging people to share your posts, by creating events, because obviously they get seen by more people. I suppose posting good content, posting good content. You can join groups as a page as well. So if there's local groups, you can post in there or engage with them. So that can encourage the following back. Probably the main way is for Facebook. It is a little bit more intricate in that respect. Hopefully that answers that. Thanks, Linda.
Thanks. Anyone else? Other than that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we've got about 5 more minutes. So is there any burning questions anyone else has?
I just want to jump in on behalf of all of everybody and specifically thank Ashley for having organised this series of sessions, and Ella for contributing and being prepared to so generously share with the librarian community around this. I think it's been worthwhile. I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No, it's been a pleasure chatting with you guys and I guess having these discussions, because honestly, libraries are super important for our community, and you guys are like the community hub. So being able to share that message and bring people in is awesome. I'm very, very much about it. Don't have an email list. Tips for event promotion or to create one, but I would definitely recommend starting to create one if you can. You can use MailChimp. There may be something within your existing council that facilitates that. That might be a different type of email list, but I definitely recommend, if you can, register your interest here, sign up for future news, etc. Without it, that's fine. You can still promote your events. You'll start to get them with the list of people actually signing up to your events as well. So you're not going to miss out necessarily overall by not having it. I think definitely looking to start creating one from this point forward, super, super necessary. Again, same thing. You can have a QR code that they could scan at the library station or at the door to register. Once you start actually putting tickets through, even if it is the free event, with the ticketing situation there, ticking the box, I'm happy for email marketing, then you can actually capture those emails and put them wherever you need to. So first things first would be talking to the local council about if there's a preferred platform. MailChimp's really quite useful. Is there one that you typically use, Ashley? Is there one that is generally?
So far, looks like we've got a Google Sheet.
Okay. That's
with
cool.
all the emails that have been registered saved.
Yep.
So we can access them.
Yeah, if that's a way that is, you're using them, that's fine too. But yeah, start creating one. Any advice for Twitter and LinkedIn? Twitter is something you can engage as a page. So obviously similar to Instagram, find a thought leader, regram them, retweet them if you can, but also engaging, liking, commenting, very, very similar stuff. So find those people that are in your area to engage with. LinkedIn, as a page, you can invite people to like your page. However, typically it's the ones that are connected to your personal account. So whoever the admin is, you can invite your network to engage. Again, same sort of thing, joining groups and engaging that way is a useful way to do that. So putting your page out there as an expert, engaging with groups that exist on LinkedIn too should help you to find followers as well.
Mhm.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Susan, for everything. It's really been great to hear everyone and hearing and being able to discuss our struggles and battles with social media. So I know we all have them, but it's nice to know we're not alone. It's something we can work on together.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing. Like I'm super excited to see you guys collaborating and troubleshooting the challenges, because like it can be quite isolating working in different locations, different spaces. It sounds like you guys seem to have a very good network here, which is so exciting.
Thank you, Linda.
Thanks so much.
Are we able to reach out to you after we're done to ask for tips and tricks?
Absolutely.
Or maybe hire you in the future if we get the budget?
Absolutely. So Ashley has my email address. I'm from Social Cut. So obviously, if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, we share our tips very regularly there. It's social.cut.
Yep. I will definitely be adding all of that information to the next.
Yes, feel free. Also, shoot us a DM on Insta if you want. We literally just put a post up today saying ask us questions. So it's out there. Go for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy to jump back in, let's say in like 6 months time, have another little catch up, see how things are going. We can do that. Easy.
And definitely, if you're up to it, we could definitely discuss maybe you coming out for our conference in November, having a little chat with us. Yeah, we've got a nice little.
Come along to trivia and be a.
Oh yeah, 100% come along to trivia. Bring your team. Come to trivia. We would love to have you.
Look, we may do that. It's in Brisbane, isn't it?
Yeah. It's at the Gabba Cricket Club.
Oh, easy peasy. That's on the corner from me. I'm in Hawthorne.
Awesome.
Super easy.
Oh yay! It'd be great to have you.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, guys. And I'll get those slides across to you as well, Ash. To send out.
And I will. And the YouTube video should be up by the weekend to everyone. I've just got to make sure it exports properly and has all the closed caption and everything. Excuse me. I'm probably going to have to need another coffee after this.
Obviously, yeah. I think.
But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to all of that, and hopefully you all enjoyed, and we'll definitely see what we can do in the future.
Amazing.
Yeah. And again, thank you so much, Ella, for saying yes to doing these workshops, sharing your knowledge. It means the world to not only me, but I know a lot of the people who have joined today, to have someone just be able to share a little bit of the insight into social media that I know has frightened many a person before.
Oh, look, it's fine. It's fine. I get to hang out with the social media meta demons all the time. I'll send you. I'll send you the meme if you want to. Feel free to include it in your email, because it's but basically it's a meme that we popped on our own socials. I'll just quickly show you on my screen. I think.
Oh yeah.
Because it's summarizing our lives all the time, which is.
I know Tony shared one just before as well.
Meta,
oh, I love it.
Any other social media app.
I love it.
Any other app that has a feature that's performing well and it's just head cut off, very Tudor style. So,
oh, I love it. But yeah. And I believe that is our time.
I think so. All right.
Yeah,
well,
yes.
I'll leave you, and I will see you likely in August.
Yeah.
Inhuman.
We're excited. Oh, and again, thank you so much for everyone who joined us. Thank you again, Ella, for hosting and helping us out.
Thanks, guys.
It means the world.
No drama at all. Well, I will see you guys in soon, and happy social media ring.
Same to you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.